remember I said yesterday about the two brothers. That's the small brother, Dennis Compton, and that's his big brother, Leslie. One of the greatest players of all time. When he played, Arsenal scored twice as many goals as when he didn't play. He was very tough. He was a miner, and before he played he wouldn't shave, so he would look tough, look hard, so the others would be frightened of him.
What is the name?
He was Wilf Copping. Joe Hume had two daughters, and when he signed his autograph he put two dots under his name to represent his daughters. So if you see an autograph without the two dots, it's not him.
Okay.
Not that you will see an autograph without it. Oh, let's put these back. And this is he was their captain before the Great War, 1907 to 1913. And during the First World War he joined up, and he was a stretcher bearer in the trenches. He went to get the wounded men and brought them back. But these are some of the early teams from the 1890s, and some of the early players. The goalkeeper. It's the old Arsenal ground before, that's in 1922. So 90 years ago nearly. This is, you can see the date in September 1929, and in September 1929 they were a small club. No one knew much about them, and when this photograph was taken in 1938, they were the greatest club in the world, the most famous. But look at the band, look how thin his legs are, and how thick his stockings are.
Okay.
They put cotton wool around to protect them. Just many old.
And how became the best famous?
Because the manager was called Herbert Chapman, and Herbert Chapman was a great football manager, and he came to Arsenal in 1925 because he realised that the potential was there, because they were close to the underground station and there was a large population, and he came and started to buy some of the great players that played football before the Second World War. He nearly didn't succeed, and in 1930 they were losing at half time in the FA Cup semi-final, but they drew and got to Wembley, and then they won the cup final, and after that they just got better and better. But he didn't live to see it. In 1934 he died with pneumonia, but his team went on to win the league championship 3 times in a row, and the only other team that had done that before was Huddersfield, who he had managed, but he left after 2 seasons. So when he died it was very bad, but they kept on going, and that was it. And until the 1990s that was their greatest era, really, and then Arsene Wenger came.
He died
Yeah.
very young.
Well, yeah, this is George Allison, who was the manager after. I think Herbert Chapman was 54 when he died, so not very old.
No. What is this?
This is the FA Cup semi-final replay in 1930, and David Jack has just scored the winning goal. That's
Yeah.
the ball in the back of the net. That's a poem. In 1902 and 1903
Yeah.
they were nearly promoted but missed out, and this poem was written about them missing out, and that year then they were promoted. So I don't think people write poems about football now.
How many years you started?
44.
Oh!
Or 44 seasons.
You started with...
Yeah, 1967. 68 is the season I went. And John, who you met last night on Wednesday,
Yeah.
has 1960-61 season. So he's been going for over 50 years, since he was very small. And we're all...
A lot of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Is the passion.
Yeah. Yes. I think I'm not sure what else to say now. This is what can I say? It has been like lots of fans. It's a passion, and you feel that you belong to something, and that's the great thing about it. And I have an interest in the history of the club, so I used to buy these things, and I have the photograph up there, and all these books all about Arsenal and football.
This picture,
Yeah,
who is?
It's in May 1989, and Arsenal won the championship in the very last match of the season and scored the winning goal at Liverpool in the very last minute. So that's one of the reasons why we go to football.
And then?
This is a handkerchief. That's most of the team from the cup winning team from 1930 that went on to win the championship in 1931. They were the first team from the south of England to win the championship.
Okay.
Before that, the team further south was Aston Villa in Birmingham, which is 100 miles north. So
very interesting, very interesting history.
Arsenal have been champions 13 times. Only Liverpool and Manchester United have won more. Spurs have been champions once, and Chelsea 4 times. So Arsenal are more successful. And I hope it stays that way. When we made the exhibition, they came from the radio to interview me about the exhibition, and they asked, I can't remember, one of my sons, they asked him whether he collected these things, and he said no, because he would have mine when I was dead.